Okay, so we're gonna try a 1920s flapper inspired makeup look. I love 1920s. I love the look. If it came back in fashion, I would be ecstatic because I think the makeup aesthetic from the 20s, as far as the flapper girl look, is really cool. There was other looks from the 20s. Again, the flapper look was for young women out on the town, going to the clubs. It wasn't the everyday look for women, but of course we know that. But let's try that, and then we can transition this to a real creepy look here in a second. But in case you want to go to a party, being a flapper inspired look, it's super fun and it's easy, and you can use products that you already have. In this case, I bought this wig a few weeks ago. There's a video on it. I even think I called it my flapper or 1920s roaring 1920s inspired bob. So I'm going really pale with the makeup because I'm looking at an inspiration photo here as I do this. And they definitely did not have a tan bronzed look for these looks. Think Betty Boop, who I think originally was based on a woman of color, and for some reason they lightened her look. But the Betty Boop look, she has a very smoky eye, and I really like that flapper look with the smoky eye, so we're going to try that. And again, I'm going to try to use mostly eyeshadows doing these looks, but I think that's the most important part. Where we're going to dive in first is the smoky eye as I look at this person's eye that I'm looking at. So we're just going to get right into the black here. And she looks like her smoky kind of comes, I'm going to outline it first. Comes here, goes all the way up, geez, to her eyebrow. Comes across here and kind of angles up a little bit, like the slightest little bit of a wing I'm noticing on her. And then it's literally smoked all the way up, just to there, just like a little bit of eyebrow showing. We're gonna smoke this because it looks smoky at the ends there. It's like, I'll say it's like smoldering. I guess that's what I love about it. Just that smoldering eye look. Now I'm gonna leave the center light because it looks like she's got some shine there in the center, and we can kind of put a different color eyeshadow in the center to kind of mimic that. Woo! That is dark, but also kind of fun. Okay, and on this side now, just outline this first. And the cool thing is, if we like this flapper look, I mean, that could be worn to work, super easy, not hard to do, pretty self-explanatory. I think at this point everybody understands what a flapper is. Just a gal from the 1920s. Oh, weren't the dresses amazing from the 1920s? All that beadwork and tassels and shine and rhinestones, and a lot of those dresses were handmade. I mean, it's just a beautiful era as far as dresses and fashion. And if you look at, I don't know if you watch Downton Abbey, but you can kind of see that transition from the 19th century to the 20th century, and how everything went from the big full dresses, and all of a sudden the flapper style was a short, flat dress. I mean, what a shakeup in fashion that must have been. Pretty cool. And just how I think things are changing so rapidly now in our culture. I mean, you name it, things are changing. Maybe that's what it felt like for them, just everything changing so drastically, so quickly. Interesting, because that was the 1920s and this is the 2020s, so it kind of makes sense how things kind of go in cycles. Okay, now what I love at the bottom, before we kind of straighten out the top, is the bottom of the eye is so smoked out. So it looks like it goes all the way to the corner, and they line it, and it meets this, and then it's like smoked out, which I kind of love that look too. I just think it's so cool. We'll blend this out more. I know it's looking a little heavy. I chose this wig because it was the closest thing to, like, I don't know, a bob like that I could find. Smoke, smoke, smoke it out, smoke it out. Which is kind of the most fun part here, really. How fun. Okay, now I can't help it. I need this to look a little neater, even though it's supposed to look like this. So let's grab a lighter shade here and try to, because it looks like she's very highlighted at the brow bone. I'm looking at an authentic picture of someone from the 20s because I really wanted an authentic look. And so that's what we're gonna kind of trying to go for that. But I also want it to be really super dramatic because, after all, this is a Halloween look. It's not me going out on the town as 20s inspired makeup, which I think is a look too. Like, people can just do that. I don't know if I could pull that off really anymore. I think that's... that probably wouldn't go over well for me. Even though I think it's a really cool look. Okay, we're getting very smoked out. This is kind of getting there. Okay, and then what I know, we can always come back to this. So what I notice about their look too is their eyebrows are so thin. So we're gonna, and they're very, very dark, very thin, very dark. And they don't, like how we like an arch to go up or an arch to go straight across. They kind of go, it's like rounded and comes down. That is a classic look. We're gonna try that. So we're gonna go very thin. Very thin, and then we're gonna come down. I almost arched that too much compared to how some of theirs do it. They really like that downward. Just, yeah, it almost extends beyond. It just kind of comes straight down. And I know there's some makeup artist channels that do this better, but I'm not a makeup artist, so I wanted to see if I could just do this with my own simple products I have at home. And can I pull this off? Because I do love a flapper look. I think it's fun. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then it's a little bit darker at the base of the eye though, so let's darken that up just a little bit. So cool. It's like I took charcoal and just went at it. Now I noticed, because they have a little bit of eye shine in the middle, I'm gonna take, what about this gray? Would that work? That might work. This is a gray color. Oh yeah. This is a gray color. It's almost like I'm gonna be in a black and white movie. Just blacks and grays. That'll give me that little bit of, light in the center. Okay, and then I might even go smoke it out a little bit with that gray. Okay, and then the next thing that I've noticed that is very much accentuated is their blush. So we'll put a little bit more. Now again, I'm not doing my regular makeup where you would put like powder and, concealer and highlighter, because I'm not going for like a regular, like, look good everyday look. We want drama. So again, I'm putting a little bit more light foundation down so the blush really shows up. So, and it kind of cleans up that look anyway. I might have to smoke that one out a little bit more now. The cool thing about it, they weren't like exact looks. They were just very kind of smoked out and very smudgy, charcoal-y. Like they literally just took some charcoal and went to town. But what I've noticed with the blush color, it's very, very pink. And depending on what picture you look at, some is at the apples of the cheek and some is really close to the eye. I happen to like the look where it's really close to the eye. So they just get that color like right there. I mean, it's a really strong pink color right there. Right by the eye. And not so much anywhere else. It's just literally up really high, as close to the eye as you can get. And that's it. And then what I've noticed on a lot of them, they have a very dark burgundy colored lip. So I don't own burgundy makeup. Oh, you know what? We should put some mascara on. But we're going to try to find that with eyeshadow. Because again, I'm trying to do as much as I can with just eyeshadow to create this Halloween flapper look. A little bit of mascara. Give it a little bit more of a finished look there. Okay. Now let's see if we can mimic a burgundy colored look. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try a couple different swatches here. I'm going to have to... Oh, that's burgundy. So I'm mixing a maroon and a brown color together. And again, I'm doing this really quick again because I like demonstrating how you can do this super quick with your own products. You can burgundy that out a little bit more. I'll show you the colors I'm using in a second. Now, the other thing that they do is the way their lips are very triangular and has like almost like that Cupid's bow accentuation, which we're going to do. So now that we laid the color down and we like it, I'm going to create a very dramatic Cupid's bow. And so first I'm going to put down the tiniest bit of concealer. In fact, I'm going to put it on my hand first. And then I'm going to drop it right here. Okay, and then we'll take our brush, if it's clean, because I've been using this for everything today. And then let's see if we can do a really specific bow. Kind of what I noticed too is the style was not full lips. In fact, I'm gonna have to correct this bottom. They accentuated the top lip. So I'm going very high. Almost like you're doing two mountains that are just have a very pointy tip. I'm kind of loving this look. Oh my gosh. Can I do my lips like this every day? I see why they did this because it naturally makes it look like you have I literally changes the look of my face. Okay, and then they have, I'm seeing that they diminish the look of the bottom lip. So let's do that. I'm going to diminish that look because I know we found the right color. So we're going to go back in with our concealer and get rid of this, get rid of this, and this. They don't like a full lip. It is definitely not, that definitely was not in style. Juvederm was not a thing. Or Restylane or whatever your lip filler of choice. Okay, you're going to blend that in and then we're going to make a very small lip. Wow. They literally, I'm the inspiration picture I'm looking at, literally lined inside the lip. Huh. Just to create it's almost like giving themselves like a baby doll. This is kind of like a baby doll lip, like they were trying to look like little Cupid dolls or like, I wonder if that's what they were imitating. Like little Cupid dolls. Look at, let's see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think I can keep the edges because it looks like their edges really did go all the way over, which I don't usually like to line all the way to the edge, but for the sake of this little Cupid doll look, I guess we're doing that. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Okay. Now I think this would look even better with just a tiny bit more mascara. But I think that messy, smoky look is making it look a little bit more authentic. Okay, this is my flapper look, my 1920s inspired look. Okay, now how we could switch this to be even creepier. If you don't really want to be a flapper, I can't get over the lip. If you don't want to be a flapper, we can change this to a zombie prom queen. You ready to do that next? Okay, let's flip this a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take our cool 1920s choker necklace, and you're going to turn that into a tiara. So we've got our big tiara now, and we're going to do a little bit more of a messy look because we're going more modern now, and now we're going to update the lip look because we're going to go for a modern, maybe a 1990s style prom queen, because they did tend to have 1990s, that was the decade of grunge, so doing makeup like this was not unheard of. So we can leave that alone. But what we're going to do, because since we're a zombie prom queen, we're going to go ahead and make very dark lips. So let's see. I think I'm going to go in with this purpley, sparkly look. And I'm not going to do black because that's too easy. We're going to do purpley, sparkly because it's just going to make everything look like kind of a little bit dead. And we can just get it all over. Now, where else do I want to look like things are kind of dark and hollowed out? Let's see, how dark do I want to go? Would that be just too dark? No, we need some dark. So we're going to start doing hollows. We're going to make some hollowed out areas here. This part's fun because it's more just like finger painting. So now I'm just going to put some dark hollows kind of where a zombie might have shadows. And isn't that fun that we don't have to take off the base of the flapper? So if you mess up your flapper look, you can just transition it into a... I love the idea of zombie prom queen, and here's why. Because everybody has a bridesmaid dress or an old prom dress or a graduation dress that's super dressy and you don't wear it anywhere. Well, now you get to wear it for this. So find your fancy dress that you're never going to wear, your little sparkly, Now I like to get the shadow all the way down here, so I just look super hollowed out. Get some here too. And then we're going to look a little skeletal, so we're going to make this look very thin. Hollow that out a little bit. And so then you can get a piece of fabric. I don't have one to show you right now, but get a you can just, what I've done in the past, I went to the fabric store and got a piece of satin and cut it. And then just with black Sharpie, I just wrote Homecoming Queen, or you can do it however you want. You could get some red paint and maybe splash some, red paint on there and then maybe tear it a little bit or cut out a bite mark or something. You could do that on the sash and then just put it over you diagonal with your fancy dress on, get a glittery headband for your tiara, and you're good to go. Blend that a little bit. Okay, starting to look a little hollowed out. Again, we're doing this quick and fast because I don't think it has to be necessarily super neat. I think almost sometimes the messier and the uglier. In this case, like I'm looking a little zombie. Now in this case, I do want to kind of work it down here, just so you just have the hollow. Now I do like to get the jawbone, so it's very, so I look more skeletal. The ultimate, the ultimate contouring now. It's that skeleton, and we're going to go down the throat. Okay, and then, you know, and again, you can play and just kind of put that wherever you kind of want it to look a little bit more, yeah. And then I might even take our other lip brush, and then we can use this dark color and even give us a little bit more fullness. Why not? Going for that 90s look, why not? They had full lips in the 90s. And honestly, I think the look that was really in, besides grunge, I think the Pamela Anderson, she had that big full top lip. So make that look full. Okay, are we there? Do we transition that to, so we mess it up a little bit more since she's Zombie Prom Queen. Okay, now you have a whole nother look. If you didn't like the flapper look, you can just transition to this. Okay, well, I hope I hope these are helpful little ideas to do at the last minute for Halloween with products that you already have. I would love for you to comment below if you have some quick ideas or suggestions, and which look did you like the best out of the ones that I just recently posted. I would love to see that. Thanks so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to hit the little red subscribe button. Would love to have you join the community. And thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Happy Halloween!